Jeff, my husband, went in for a routine colonoscopy. It was supposed to be something non-eventful, something where he just goes in based on his age for screening. And what happened was when he was in there, he had aspirated into his lungs during the procedure when he was under anesthesia. And from that caused a whole slew of events and medical issues. He was sent to the emergency room where he spent about a week there to get stabilized. After that, he was discharged and sent home to be on an oxygen machine. So they had our house equipped with an oxygen machine so that he could breathe. He was on that for several months. And he was out of work for almost, I want to say a year by the time he went back. During that time when he was recovering, I mean, we had to see tons of doctors, different specialists. So when we would go and I'd take him to his appointments, he would have to be on a portable oxygen tank. So you have to remember, this is a very young, healthy, fit man prior to the colonoscopy. He was just extremely healthy, go to the doctors for just well checkups. His physique, he was muscular, strong, he could build anything, he could work really hard, he's in construction. But after this incident, his body got deconditioned. He could barely get off the couch. He could barely walk. He couldn't walk without any assistance or oxygen. So that meant that myself and my son would have to help him to take showers, to get him out of the bed, to get him dressed for the day. We went from this man who was healthy, vibrant, walking in for a routine colonoscopy, being rushed out in an ambulance, and for the next several years, dealing with various medical issues, trying to get healthy and back to where he is, which our understanding is that's not going to happen. Looking back, there were a few things that stood out in my mind. The anesthesiologist, when we were leaving, he wasn't very compassionate, and he kept, when my husband was getting escorted out, the only thing he said is, make sure you tell him he was awake and sitting up, which I thought was weird because we're getting rushed out of this facility to go to the emergency room, and that's all he's concerned about. The doctor and his whole demeanor about it was kind of like matter of fact, like he thought everything was handled appropriately. My older son, who was 25 at the time, said, this is totally negligence on their end, and we need to talk to someone. And he's the one who reached out and found Sean. He's been great. He's very compassionate. He's a hard worker. He listened to us. He fought for us. He's just a really good person to do the right thing and to make sure people like us don't get taken advantage of.